The world's getting smaller. Well, not literally. It's not going to be like the Little Prince with you and your annoying neighbors living on a beach ball. It means easy travel, relocation, and communication allow us to engage people from diverse cultures. So
we have to help listeners of other language backgrounds track spoken information.
That's Daniel Bullock, co-author with Raúl Sánchez of How to Communicate with Anyone, Anywhere. These NYU faculty members and communications trainers at the United Nations are here to help us improve our cross-cultural communication. Because like Raúl says,
our voices matter as much as our words matter.
There's a name for this science of the spoken word.
Paralanguage is used around the world for the transfer of meaning.
Paralanguage encompasses all the heavy sighs, eye rolls, and posture that inform your words. And vocalics is how you use your voice. And both can help you communicate more clearly across cultures.
With vocalics, we can deeply connect with global audiences.
It starts with word stress.
How soft or how loud we're speaking a word becomes very important in terms of intercultural business contexts and situations.
Even English speakers from other cultures may need vocal guideposts.
With word stress and volume, we're creating focus words that we can use to direct the flow of ideas in a conversation.
A different emphasis can change the implied meaning of the exact same words.
Sales increased from last year, but what about if I emphasize last? Sales increased from last year.
The first is more neutral, and the second implies that last year with, a pandemic was an aberration and maybe a poor comparison.
These focus words create comprehensibility and impact, and they're very strategic because we can also achieve not just communication, but persuasion as well.
Next, you can really help non-native speakers track your meaning with intonation.
Research shows that intonation of a sentence conveys upwards of 70% of its meaning.
So, an Americanism that might not translate?
Something that is pretty common is uptalk.
You know uptalk? How some people say things like a question when they're not a question?
It can come off as if we're more uncertain about what we're saying, or it could convey a lack of confidence.
Easy example?
You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Law enforcement would probably have a pretty tough time enforcing the law, right?
Contrast that with
stop. You're under arrest. So we want to try to use these intonation patterns to inject confidence and certainty in our speech to better convey our intentions to a global audience.
Finally, think about rhythm, the natural pauses that break your speech into understandable chunks called thought groups.
We often think the flow of speech is smooth and continuous like a river, but in fact, effective speech is made of intricate patterns of starts and stops.
A well-timed pause can emphasize a point.
Especially when communicating with intercultural audiences, it allows time for the information to be digested, but also it emphasizes your point.
Using your voice for better cross-cultural communication is at the top of the list.